فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. The subject is very important and it's very lengthy subject. And mashallah, the two sheikhs had given the summary, brief summary about this issue which we needed. And like the sheikh said, that we need to start with our own locality, with our own self, in our own families. First, before I start, I have a lot to talk in this subject because I don't really see too much of future for Muslims wherever they are. If they are in Arabia or in the United States or on the moon or under the ground, any success with them without having unity and being together and being united. But like Sheikh Bassam was saying, that the order here or this hadith is not going for individual, it's going for a community, it's going for a group. And he's not talking about Islamic center or he's not talking about a local mosque, okay? We're talking about bay'ah, we're talking about a khalifa, we're talking about a head of Islamic state. So if you are in this state that you are together and united, and somebody comes for whatever selfish reason while you are united, and his purpose is to split this one body, now became the duty of the ummah to kill him. Alright? Why? Sacrificing and getting rid of one person's life much important than splitting the Muslim unity and the Muslim body. So we are not talking about Islamic centers and we have a new imam and elections. This doesn't apply to this, okay? Nevertheless, we don't, you understand, allow this unity and disagreement in anything. Everything in Islam talks about unity, talks about community. And as stated by Umar, if I'm not mistaken, فَإِنَّهُ لَا إِسْلَامَ إِلَّا بِالْجَمَاعَةِ وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا بِالْإِمَارَةِ وَلَا إِمَارَةَ إِلَّا بِالْبَيْعَةِ. That there is no Islam without a community and unity. And there is no community and unity without a leadership. And there is no leadership or khilafah without a bay'ah pledge. Okay? Everything in the Islam talks about unity and ummah. But the issue here, because we are a ummah supposed to live in the unseen, that you work now, you get paid later. There is nothing immediately, okay? Work now, you get your harvest later. You have to plant the seed, now you get the fruits and the result later on. We see the non-Muslims, they doing things in collective body, in united forum, okay? But we the Muslims are not doing the same thing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about something very important that has been done by non-Muslim and is not done by most of the Muslims. When you talk about the love, the brotherhood, about the loyalty to one another, supporting one another. I said, well, أولياء بعض إلا تفعلوا إيش بداية الآية؟ والذين كفروا بعضهم أولياء بعض. And those who disbelieve, the non-Muslims, are the supporter of one another. Are the supporter, they back up each other. And Allah said, إلا تفعلوه. If you Muslims don't do the same thing, تكن فتنة في الأرض وفساد كبير. If you Muslims did not get together, did not support one another, be united and be a brother to a brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is going to be a fitna. And this is what we live in nowadays, in a time of fitna. Fitna, temptation, trials, that Al-Halim became Hayran. A wise person became gone crazy. He doesn't know how to act. What is going on? Why? Because something is missing out of our life. This unity and this community business is so important to such a degree, is even is not by Quran and Sunnah, is a logic.
a common sense. But those people, they do things because they get something immediately. We Muslims, we don't get it immediately. The reward, the blessing, the Jannah comes after he dies. He sees the result later on. But look, the common sense, it shows you something very simple. Look to a loaf of bread. Look to a loaf of bread. I'm not going to tell you Mercedes-Benz, they understand factory or aeroplane, no. Loaf of bread. That you go pay $1 to get a loaf of bread. Do you know how many people had got together to present this loaf of bread that sits in your ma'idah? Starting from the farmer. Even the farmer himself could not break the ground by himself. The person who did the machineries to break the ground, those people who put the seed, the people who water the land, the people who harvest the grains, the people who ground it, the people who made the, what you call the dough, the people who cook it, the people who put it in the oven, and after this coming to Piggly Wiggly or Food Line, the people who pack it, and after this with $1 you got a loaf of bread. If you count how many hands and how many persons got involved to present a loaf of bread to sit in your ma'idah, you'll be shocked. Now you want a Muslim ummah to be a winner and to be superior in the land, and you want a Muslim child, and you want a Muslim husband, a Muslim wife, a Muslim family, and going to come with nothing, you must be dreaming. You must be dreaming. It's no way. A corporation, look to your own single hand. Not both hands, look to one hand. It's a hand. But look how Allah made it. Make an arm, made a hand, make fingers. He made even mafasil and joints to get, okay, all these things. So you'll be able to look to the pen to hold it. Subhanallah. It shows you the unity, the support of one another. Be collective, only to be able to say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And after this, we think we're going to have a masajid, Islamic school, alternative for everything, for Muslims in America or out of America with nothing. I don't want to bring too much in the table because the issue is so big. But from what the Mashayikh had said already, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. So if you're talking about unity, there's a means and ways, because you have a goal and you have means. Alright? You go to the bus station so the bus can take you to Chicago. But when you go to Chicago, you're going there because you want a supermarket, wholesale to bring and come. So Allah, when He said about community and unity and be united, He also put means. So one of the most important means that we have to understand, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. So if the Muslims are not willing to come to the book of Allah and the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ, as he supported this with the other verse, فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى. It could not come out of nothing. Allah said about unity, and He said, and don't be dispersed, don't be disunited, وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. But when you hold it fast to the Quran, when you hold it fast to the way, the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ, when you come, سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And this is something else that we need to understand it. It's not been clarified by many scholars and many imams. Allah did not say only Quran, Allah did not say only Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but He adds something else. How many of us know about this? And this would bring about a big disunity among the Muslims. وَمَنْ يَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ وَمَنْ يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولِ من بعد ما تبين له الهدى ويتبع غير سبيل. Why Allah didn't stop in the middle of this verse, Allah and His Messenger and this it, but was a third component, which is what? ويتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين. And he follow other methodology different from the way of the believers. We know about Allah, we know about the Messenger. But who are the believers that Allah is talking about? Can anybody tell me? Yes? The Sahaba. Who are Muslim believers at that time other than the Sahaba? Those are the students of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are the people that have been touched by the hand of the Prophet, by the tongue of the Prophet, by the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He became the example, the model example. They understood. They don't need the lexicon. They don't need a dictionary. They don't need Sahih al-Bukhari. They don't need opinions. They don't need usul al-fiqh. They took it directly from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They understood it. And when they could not understood it, they have the Prophet there. So Muslims, they came around the Quran and the Sunnah, but most of them forgotten the understanding, the methodology of the Sahaba. As a result of this, they became in different opinions and different school of thoughts. And this became a serious matter to define the Ummah. What sufficient and differences among the Sahaba that was acceptable is supposed to be sufficient and acceptable to us today. But if the Sahaba did not disagree about it, who is me or you or Sheikh so and so or school of thought so and so can disagree about it? If we have an issue that is say in the Quran and say in the Hadith, and the Sahaba did not disagree about this issue, how today we can come to see a new guidance about it? The issue is the same. I'm not talking about something new. The same issue, if the Sahaba didn't disagree about it, why we seeking a new understanding in it? One of the most elements that destroy unity and community of the Muslims, ikhtilaf, different understanding, ahwa, bid'ah, innovation, tariqas. Everybody have his own methodology how to understand the Islam, especially being in America. In America, all what you need $150, and you go down to the city hall and you get a corporation paper that you are legalized, that you open a mosque, synagogue, church, worship place, whatever. And now you became Sheikh so-and-so, or Maulana so-and-so, or you are certified to say anything, to write a book, to gather the people to lecture. And we hear in America everything is welcome. And the Muslims also catch this kind of disease. And especially the seriousness of matter in America, because in Egypt, you found 99% or 95% of the people there are Egyptian. If you go to Pakistan, you found 95% or 85% of Pakistani people. If you go to England, the same thing. But when you come to America, it's a different story. You will find little bit of everything. And with little bit of everything, everyone bring his own ideology, his own idea. So we became with the ocean full of trouble. Ideas, innovations, tariqas. When you ask somebody from Egypt how many tariqas there, okay, you're going to count 10, 15, 20, 100. If you go to Pakistan, if you go to any other country, we are limited on tariqas. But when you come here, every person came to America, he have his own tariqah, so now it became what on the stage in America, thousands and thousands of tariqas. So became more serious, and the obstacle towards unity in America became more harder for a Muslim to be united. We have now some organization called mother organizations, which is they lead the Islamic work in America. How many of them they have Islamic study? Most of them PhD degree in computers, in science, in chemistry, name it. Nothing wrong with this. But you could not wear a white coat and come tell me that you are a doctor and I'm giving you my heart to operate in it, because he can be a butcher. A butcher will also a white coat. And it's not because you have a PhD degree in mechanics that you mean that you will know about transmission in a car, because you may be specialized in an aeroplane engine, not in a car engine. Same thing, there is something related to each other. But here in America, you found people leading the Islamic world and the Islamic fatwa, and they did not study anything. They heard about Islam. Some of them, they did not used to make salah 20 years ago. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed them with a tawbah, but now they became leaders of Islamic world. To such a degree, few years ago, we have a leader for a mother organization, which was a woman. And she have to travel from a country to country, from a city to city, and she have to have meetings with men and direct Islamic work for Islamic mother organization in America. Where are the scholars? Where is this in the Sunnah of the Prophet? Where is this in the practice of the Sahaba? But nobody, how many persons that you heard got up and said, so and so, what you're doing are wrong? No, because everything goes in America. You could not say anything. It's a free country, free speech, you do anything. So, what you don't like it, so you can go and open your own organization. And every day we have new masajid, new organizations, new this, new that. Why? Because there is no way for us to understand what is the principles of unity and how we can be community. And Allah started with وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Somebody has to take the mic from my hand. I did not even take the lecture yet. So, no, I'm not going to do it. So somebody has to say, please give me the mic, I will give it to you.
I'm ready for
What?
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. لا مش لو مش ممكن.
لا
ممكن اخد مكانك.
انت اخذت الميكروفون.
انت اللي طبعت فيه.
اتفضل.
جزاهم الله خيرا. May Allah reward all the mashayikh that they talk more than enough and we learn more than enough. But I would like to point something very important. We are learning how much is important the unity. But I'm going to talk the opposite way. The dangers and the danger that we are facing by losing the unity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah says, وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَيَقُولُونَ مَاذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِهَذَا مَثَلًا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا ويضل به إلا الفاسق. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then continued the verse to say, الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل وأولئك هم الخاسرون. أولئك هم الخاسرون. Allah says, the kafir, they say, what's about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving all these ayat and verses for what reasons? Guide whatever he want to guide and mislead whatever he want to mislead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, no, they want to get be misled are the fasiqun. What description given to them, the description being given to them, they break the contract between them and Allah and they disassociate the unity. They break unity. وَيَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَنْ يُوصَلَ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And they are the losers. Let's have a little look at the loser. What we're going to lose? We're going to lose two things. Materials, as hayat al-dunya and hayat al-akhirah. That's not my word, that's the Quran. Allah subhanahu says, وَلَوْ أَنفَقْتَ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مَا أَلَّفْتَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ أَلَّفَ بَيْنَهُم. If you're going to spend all the wealth on earth, that statement directly to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. that has all the power that Allah gave him and all the whatever he asked, he was able to do by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. I'm going to give you everything until you'll be satisfied. He's telling him, if you're going to spend the whole wealth on earth, you will never get him united. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make him united. So how much it cost me to lose my brotherhood with you? The whole wealth on earth. Look how much I'm losing. Which is more important when you say وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. This is Surah Al-Imran start. I don't want to go on the whole tafsir. It starts from verse 100 and it ends at verse 103. And the end of it is the most dangerous. That's the biggest thing that we're going to lose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَتَفَرَّقُوا وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. When you get united to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember one thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Don't break apart, and remember the blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you were enemies before Islam. Now after Islam, you are brothers, brotherhood. So now after that, وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. You were almost to tip in the hellfire, and he saved you by brotherhood. Breaking brotherhood was going to take me. The same thing opposite. My brotherhood with you saved me from the hellfire. Breaking it was going to take me back to the hellfire. See how Allah ended the verses? The end verses that I'm going to lose, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, the best place, the Jannah, and go back to the hellfire by breaking the unity. But not my words, يا إخوان القرآن. كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make a clear statement. يبين clearly. There is nothing over here. Black and white, that's it. There is no gray area in between. Either unity or what? The hellfire. Why? Because I didn't die as a Muslim. فقد مات ميتة الجاهلية, as Prophet ﷺ says, losing our brotherhood and our unity, we die like Jahiliyyah. And if we die like Jahiliyyah, what are we going to end? The hellfire. Ikhwan, I want you to go deep in the verses of Surah Al-Imran from verse 100 to 103, and you will see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala linked the Islam and the Iman to the brotherhood and the kufr to break the brotherhood. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. So it's very dangerous يا إخوان. جزاكم الله خيرا والله تعالى أعلم. And please forgive me يا إخوان المشايخ, I interfere. It's not my turn, you know. جزاكم الله خيرا.
Inshallah, like the Sheikh said again, I repeat what he said, that we need to start with our own self, with our own masajid, with our own families. And inshallah,
our time is over.
and the microphone is over. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَلَا تَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا. مِنَ الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا. Don't be among the mushriks. Those who فَرَّقُوا or فَرَّقُوا, that those who split or divided themselves, وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا, became groups. We need to be united. Everything tells us about unity. And there's a lot that I really can tell you about it. There is examples about the ants, the bees, how they united for this life, for them to survive when they fall into water and things like this. But we need each other. We need the support of one another. But this unity never can be in the spaces of sacrificing our deen. Unity on the basis of Quran and Sunnah and the understanding of the Sahaba. Not a unity on bid'ah, not a unity on tariqas. this is something very important. If we are not going to establish our unity on a right foundation, you will be building a house like Bayt al-Ankabut, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ. I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the guidance that we can see the necessity of unity and establish it among ourselves on the base of the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the understanding of the Sahaba.
As we heard a lot of information about the importance of unity of this ummah, and again, we hope that we can do something at the level of the Muslim communities in the United States. And inshallah through NAIF we can do something, because NAIF is North America Imam Federation and we meet yearly. And last week we had a meeting in Minneapolis, and we are trying through this member, through this federation, to unite as much as we can among the Muslim imams and Muslim communities in the United States. And here locally, at the level of North and South Carolina, you before me try a lot to do or to spread this meaning, the meaning of unity among the Muslim communities in North Carolina and South Carolina. And there is a smaller circle too. The imams in one city or one county, let them try their best to spread the unity also among the imams in one city. As an example, alhamdulillah, through 10 years ago, I'll mention this only to encourage the idea that, and Brother Nasruddin is here also from Charlotte, we have an agreement, all the masajid in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County signed 10 years ago to establish Ramadan together and to celebrate 2 Eids together. Alhamdulillah, so far, so good. Alhamdulillah. And when we pray Salat al-Eid, especially if it is, if al-Eid comes in the weekend, over 10,000 brothers and sisters perform Salat al-Eid all together because of the unity. And alhamdulillah, also this year we renew this agreement, and inshallah we hope that it works also. Only I give you this example only to encourage you about the unity, as Sheikh Yusuf said, even in your local city and in your local center, as Sheikh Muhammad Al Yusuf said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all of us adatu khair, and to be for the goodness, to make us work for the goodness of the ummah, the goodness of the community, the goodness of our family. إنه على كل شيء قدير والإجابة جدير وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم.
Now we also give us some rights in case they have any question, comments for next 10 minutes. Inshallah, Brother Tariq Masoudi, go ahead.
In terms of practicality, in terms of practicality and emphasizing the importance of the unity from a simplistic perspective, how important is it to emphasize the importance of standing together in Salah, brothers and sisters? Many of us find it very insulting to try to stand beside a brother and he refuses to touch you in Salah. How can we have unity if no one or so many people take this for granted?
The panel says that is a comment, it's not a question, so we take it for the face value. I want to make a small comment about it. It's supported by hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said what the meaning is. that تسوون بين صفوفكم أو لا يخالفن الله بين وجوهكم أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. That you better straighten your ranks, okay? Otherwise, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a disunity among you. So it's very serious leading avenue to disunity that we are not being straight in our line, shoulder to shoulder and foot to foot. This is the way of the Sahaba, may Allah be pleased with them, and this is the way of the Sahaba.
Another comment also. Allah Alam, you can spread this information and the Sunnah in a nice way and be patient while you are teaching the community. And inshallah, one day, maybe they will understand and follow inshallah.
And another comment, this applies to the sisters also like the brothers, because some people, they think that shoulder to shoulder and foot to foot apply to the brothers only. This applies to the brothers as well as the sisters, inshallah. Although that some people, they feel, according to the school of thoughts, you understand that you're supposed to have 4 fingers between your foot and your brother's foot, okay? Although this I know is a school of thoughts, but the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ or the act of the Sahaba itself has more priority than the understanding of the school of thoughts. Sisters?
Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. My name is Sister Nzinga, and one of the things I think that fits into what you're talking about, and I want to say that I've enjoyed everything that I've heard this afternoon, because each one of you made a different point. And you talked about unity, and my concern is that when people from the outside of Islam look at Islam and look at us, they see, for the most part, they think Islam is a religion just for men. And that's a very bad misconception, because it's for the human being. And what I want to say is that when Allah made us, He made man and woman spiritually equal. And that means that He gave both of them intelligence and foresight and ability to analyze things. So I'm just concerned that when we have these kinds of programs, and I know you're imams, I know that, and I know an imam means a caller to prayer. So I'm saying that a woman can call other women to prayer. So in a sense, she's an imam too. So I'm wondering why there are no women on the program, because I'm sure they have things that they can say, things that they can add. And like I said, people from the outside coming here looking and say, well, you know, only the men are allowed to talk, only the men are allowed to do things. And I just would like to say that that needs to be destroyed. We need to give the women an equal chance to express their thoughts and beliefs on this land too. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah, like the Sheikh, he doesn't want to take the mic, but he gave me something to say. He said, this is true, you can be imam, but you could not be imam for the brothers. You can be imam among the sisters. And you know Aisha radiallahu anha, she used to be a scholar. Even some of the men, like Umar ibn al-Khattab, they used to come and ask her questions. And she used to lead the salah, but she did not stand in front of them, she standing there.
The priest said, the woman.
Huh?
She used to lead prayer with the woman.
Yes, you can say she can lead the salah for the women. But so this is what we're saying, and this is what the Sheikh agree about. And Sheikh Bassam, if you want to make a comment. Okay, so we agree, sister, we pray, we put our basamat alayhi. Jazakallah khairan. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go first. Assalamu alaikum. I just want to make a quick comment, and please excuse me for
I'm sorry, I
this.
didn't notice that you are here. Would they might come here?
الله يبارك فيك. لا يعني استوضح يعني الله يكرمك أو استيضاح أنا استوضح يعني. I'm afraid that some of our brothers and sisters might misunderstand that we are putting down the schools of thought or confusing them with some of the ikhtilaf or the disagreement and this misunity or whatever that we are talking about. the thing about schools of thought is there is a difference of schools. Imam Abu Hanifa says that, Imam Shafi'i says that. That in Islam is an ikhtilaf of variety, because these schools of thought are one of mafakhir al-Islam, things that we take pride on. These schools of thought are based on usul. It's not like an imam who sit by himself and keep thinking about an issue and then issue a fatwa about it. Brothers and sisters, many people, because of lack of understanding, and the meaning of fiqh, by the way, is understanding, they think they can go and derive ahkam themselves. They read Quran is there for all, let me read it, let me get the hukm myself. I can read the hadith, it's even a translation of a hadith, and I can understand. Go get the hukm, it's clear for everybody, it should be clear for me, go and apply it and implement it. This rule should be good, but I would say my own observation, for like 5 or 10% of the ahkam, talking about the rules, not about the, most of the Quran will be talking about the creation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, existence of Allah, that's accessible for everybody. But I'm specifically talking about ahkam. So, if you adopt the way of one scholar or one sheikh, you are following a school of thought. You are following a madhab, even if it's not one of the Shafi'i or Abu Hanifa. If you adopt your own way of thought of reading a hadith and your understanding, that's a madhab. Because the way you read the hadith is different from the way I read the hadith. So we come back to the schools of thought that are approved by Islam, by scholars of Islam for us. It does not mean it's like equal to Quran or Sunnah. No, it's different ways of understanding Quran and Sunnah that gives variety to the Ummah. Some ahkam will be in clear conflict with Quran and Sunnah. In this case we say Jazakumullahu khairan, a scholar who made his ijtihad and he made a mistake and he did not make it right, he still receive a reward. But it does not mean in any way to, Imam Abu Hanifa, he was for his time, Imam Shafi'i, he was for his time. We cannot do nothing, I claim. We cannot do nothing as Muslims. Part of our misunity that we have nowadays is because we are away from the guidance of Islam that was best understood by the scholars of Islam, that they were agreed on by multitudes, millions of scholars. And by the way, Madhab Imam Abu Hanifa, it's not 90% of it was not laid by Abu Hanifa. It was initiated by Abu Hanifa, but then hundreds of thousands of scholars who keep building on it, amending on it, adding rules. So it's not like he just says his own mind or whatever. No, this is a way of understanding Islam by an approved person. But it does not mean it's 100% binding for me. No, sometimes you come across some ahkam, some ijtihadat that are wrong because it's in direct conflict with another ayah or hadith based on another understanding of a scholar. Not from your own view, because some ahkam will be in direct conflict with the ayah, but come on, this ayah is mansukh, it's abrogated, it's cancelled, it's not there anymore as far as the hukm. So that's not for me and you, and for most of the imam, I am one of them, it's not for us to go derive the ahkam. We are all mutataffilun, we all read what the great scholars of Islam who spend day and night understanding Quran and Sunnah. My brother and my sister, native Arab people, they don't know Arabic. We do not know Arabic. We do not know what's bad means in Arabic, ba'diyya or sababiyya or whatever. They studied Arabic. They know what it is. And they spend their life doing that. Just as an example for you, straightening the line, for example, is very important. In my opinion, it's a sign whether the ummah is in the right, is aligned or not. But it's not like an issue of wala and bara. If the line is, if they do not touch each other's feet, that there is a great crack in the ummah. No, there is no great crack, because Imam Abu Hanifa, this is his own understanding and it's approved as well. It does not mean the other view is wrong. He said there is a hadith, the hadith said, Al-qadam fil-qadam, wal-katif fil-katif, wal-unuq fil-unuq. And neck to neck, authentic hadith. How can we make the neck touch the neck? So he said the meaning is, it's talking mainly about lining up, not necessarily touching. I am aware of the hadith that Sahaba used to say, كُنَّا نَلْزِقُهُ, we used to make our heels touch one another. What I'm trying to say is, there is a chance for another understanding if you can think about it. It could be, in your view, weak understanding, but it is there and it's valid. And if somebody else decides to do it, alhamdulillah. Let's think for the bigger issues of the ummah, for the methodology, how we fiqh al-khilaf, even when we disagree about issues. We see in the line some people, he disagree with somebody, he say, "Ya kafir," I heard it myself, I saw it one day. Wallahi, if we do not pray at all, but you do not call your brother, jama'ah, you do not pray jama'ah at all, pray at home, but we do not come and call each other kafir, that would be a better understanding for Islam than coming and praying in jama'ah, but not having understanding of the jama'ah or fiqh of the jama'ah. Please forgive me for the long comment and for the mistakes that made.
Sure ain't nobody take my bed.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It's about the unity Imam Bayrul was talking about for the diversity. So good, alhamdulillah. And now how about if we have a diversity in the surah and the most important position have been taken for maybe one type group of people in the same country or same race, so is that can bring problems between, like, or people gonna see how things going behind, like they showing like we have a diversity and on this position, one group of type of people, they took, how do you see it? They took the important position like president, vice president, imams.
Why they took it this way?
Like some people, like I can say from my country.
This is what I'm saying. Yes, we should not look for because what country or the same culture. Always we should look what's the benefit or the most beneficial to the community. Even sometimes we find different options. Always is better to find diversity. And if we are from Arab background, just an example, then we have to add some more member of our council. My experience, look other than Arab to fit that position doesn't mean because he's from different culture. No, he's qualified, but let's bring him in because the point when we're talking about practical diversity should be practiced. If you don't practice it from the council, elections, and committees, then later you will find the whole masjid become, known as a restricted. Some I heard brothers saying some masjid in the north, this is for this is Bosnian masjid, and the other one he said Turkish masjid.
Masjid Arab, Masjid
and some Arab. Even some brother he said if you time for prayer, you pass by the masjid, you cannot go and pray. That's one of those. Inshallah.
This it? Should we close? You have to still have one thing.
I think I can keep that. I just wanted to make a statement. I'm quite sure you are aware of that when you all were talking about the Prophet ﷺ saying that the Ummah is like one body. There were three important characteristics that you all know, but I didn't hear it enumerated. He said the Muslim, in his relationship with his mercy, with his closeness in his relationship with his mercy, his affection, and his closeness is like one Ummah. So those characteristics he enumerated have to be there before they're like that body. So I think that maybe